My father left the family business to my younger sister who ran it into the ground, disowning me for questioning him. Years later, clearing his estate, I found his hidden journals, revealing the heartbreaking reason he protected her at my expense. For 30 years, Miller & Sons Hardware wasn't just a store, it was my life, my legacy, my future. I started sweeping floors there when I was barely tall enough to see over the counter, learning the trade from my grandfather and then my father, Thomas Miller. Everyone in town knew Dad, a pillar of the community, stern but fair, a man whose word was his bond. He built the business from a small neighborhood shop into the go-to place for everything from plumbing supplies to garden tools. It was always understood, though never explicitly promised, that one day it would be mine. I was the oldest, the one who put in the sweat equity, skipping college parties to manage inventory, and staying late to balance the books, while my younger sister, Chloe, pursued her art degree. Chloe was always the free spirit, talented and charming, but utterly uninterested in the nuts and bolts of running a hardware store. Dad adored her, indulged her artistic whims, and never seemed to mind that she rarely set foot in the store unless she needed cash for art supplies. I didn't resent her for it. We were different people with different paths. Mine led straight to the manager's office at Miller & Sons, a role I assumed Dad would formally hand over when he decided to retire. That's why his announcement 5 years ago felt like a physical blow, knocking the wind out of me right there in the dusty aisles of aisle 3, surrounded by PVC fittings. Dad gathered Chloe and me in his small, cluttered office after closing one evening. He looked older than his 65 years, tired lines etched around his eyes. He cleared his throat and said, "I've made a decision about the future of the store. I'm retiring next month and I'm leaving the business to Chloe." The silence that followed was deafening. I stared at him, convinced I'd misheard. Chloe looked just as shocked, her eyes wide. "Dad, I don't know anything about running a store," she stammered. "You'll learn," Dad said firmly, his gaze fixed on some point over my shoulder. "Mark will stay on to help you." "Help her?" I finally found my voice, laced with disbelief and rising anger. "Dad, this is my life's work. I've dedicated everything to this place. Chloe doesn't know the first thing about ordering stock or managing payroll. This is insane." Dad's face hardened. "My decision is final, Mark. You will support your sister, or you can find yourself another job." The ultimatum hung in the air, thick and suffocating. I looked at Chloe, who seemed bewildered, caught in the crossfire. I pleaded with Dad, listing my qualifications, my years of dedication, the plans I had for expansion.